guys, hey you guys, okay, over there, hey you guys, hey you guys, okay over there, over there, hey you guys, okay.
Ah, the friggin' shark!
Good evening, folks, and welcome to Garbage Theater's Shark Month 2019. Tonight's installment, Six-Headed Shark Attack. I'm your host, Chase, my co-host, Blake and John.
Hello.
Oh, hey.
Oh!
Hey-ho.
Man. Well, we started it off right.
Yeah.
What does right mean in this context?
I almost want to start off with my own little mini rant. It's like, okay, what is a shark movie? So I almost need to just start. What is a shark? Okay, it's a shark movie involves a shark harassing and attacking a group of people that are either stranded in a spot where they're surrounded by the shark's natural habitat. And they go to great lengths to stay out of this habitat.
Right.
Not this movie.
No.
I've never seen a group of assholes willingly jumping into the water where a shark just was.
Now,
Constantly.
so
Everyone back in the water.
so it's a six-headed shark this time.
Yes.
And now I'm starting to realize there's definitely diminishing returns with the more heads you put on the shark. Like 2, all right. 3, oh, okay, we're getting there. 4, that's a lot of
Slow down
shark.
now.
Yeah, he's pushing it.
6, okay, this is ridiculous.
Now it gains new abilities with 6 heads.
Oh, Jesus.
There's nowhere else to put heads.
They are officially out of space for heads. I think there's like one more place for a head now.
Yeah. Because like when you see the first like aerial shot of it, it's like, yeah, they stuck a head on every possible surface of this shark. It's done.
Yeah.
It can't be a 7.
They did away with the tail head for this one.
Well, that was silly.
Also, that was just a totally different kind of shark.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember when we started down this lighthearted trek of multi-headed sharks? It was just because of pollution.
Yeah. Pretty simple.
Not anymore.
Yeah, no.
And, not to jump ahead, but am I to believe that this is the same shark?
No.
No, absolutely
Didn't
not.
they kind of hint at that? Like every time it's been injured, it's grown a new head, and so
If they did, it's gone over my head because, I don't think. I think that this was just that certain experimental shark grows its heads back because it also grows its heads back differently than the other sharks did.
This is only a sequel in spirit. It's not like an actual sequel.
Because it replaces its heads. The other ones, if you cut a head off, 2 grew back in its place.
Yeah.
That didn't happen in this one.
Right.
So actually, what we were hoping for didn't happen. I was expecting that us to see the beginnings of the 7th head, and that never happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'm getting way ahead.
I'm hoping they've decided to end it. And that's why it didn't grow any new heads.
They have to end it. I mean, really.
It's going to be a ball of heads.
Yeah, that's it. And
I still haven't seen
start calling it Shark Ball.
I just want to see my saw blade of heads, just kind of just rolling around. That's what I was hoping to see this time. But
this was damn near close to it.
It was close, but it still had a tail.
Yeah. It still had that scorpion tail. Oop, I don't want to give away too much of what's coming. Okay, let's...
But it's also like a real reunion for a bunch of the Empire of the Sharks players. So it's got the same director, 3 of the actors from Empire, and the boat. The same ass boat.
I didn't notice any of that stuff.
Well, Will, the main guy, he's the captain from Empire of the Sharks.
But that's about it. But dude,
Well,
if you told me to pick out...
Planet. He had a cameo.
Okay.
And
When I was thinking back, I honestly cannot differentiate Empire from Planet.
I was about to say, I can't remember any of it.
Like, I remember it, but to me, they were both the same movie. Like,
the only thing I remember is like the floating city that was like superimposed on an ocean, and you could tell it wasn't really there. Like, that's all I really remember.
This research lab was basically the floating city.
Yeah, it probably was the same set.
Good Christ. So who were the other two, John? Just to make sure I'm thinking of the same people.
The dude that played Duke was in Empire. He was like Ian Fane's like right hand man.
Oh yeah.
The guy with the gloves. He wore the gloves to control the sharks.
God.
And then Mary was like, I think she was the unnamed girl for like the majority of Empire. That was like driving around in the submarine.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. They made this movie the next day.
Yeah. That's a wrap on Empire and day one on Six-Headed Shark Attack.
All right. Let's dive in. So we open to the class of 84's graduation party for the UCSB School of Biology in Baja, which is a floating shanty.
Yes.
There's no other, I mean, it's a couple of pallets lashed together with like a tarp thrown over it. And that's the School of Biology.
Yeah, it's a crappy set even by Asylum standards.
Yeah. So
it's got like, the structure is like there's wood supports and then it's just got a tarp thrown over it, and that's like a research laboratory.
So people are partying it up, and this disgruntled French girl comes storming around the corner, followed by her boyfriend. And she's pissed because he was smoozing with some other women at the party, and she takes off her $150 engagement ring and throws it overboard.
$150?
She looks out to the
salary for this guy.
So she looks out to the water, dejected, and sees this menacing, indescribable, blobular shadow approaching. It's the six-headed shark, of course. It swims up, and it grabs some poor bastard through the hole.
Yeah, why is there a hole? Okay. Okay.
The only reason there's a hole is for there to be a deep blue sea moment. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't even do a good deep blue sea moment. There's like a shot of the shark heading toward the facility from underwater. And then it cuts to a guy immediately falling in the hole. It's not like he doesn't get grabbed or anything. There's so many. So they immediately show the shark. We're like 2 minutes in. Yeah. Boom, shark.
Fuck Jaws. What do they know?
Yeah, they don't need to learn anything from Jaws. And then this hole. Let's say it's like an 8-foot squared space for the floor. The hole takes up like 4 feet of it.
They're all dancing
They're
like
just
around this hole.
This open hole.
Does anybody know what those holes are called?
I always figured it was just a deep blue sea hole.
The little access hole for the divers to go in.
In this case, it's a shallow cerulean bay hole.
It's just the hole. Luke, shoot the hole. So, all the partygoers scream and they all run around frantically. There's not much room to run on this rig.
No.
The French girl looks out as the shark's ripping apart some poor scientist, and she backs up into the wall as the shark closes in. Quick, get 5 more people lined up beside you. It jumps up out the water and she screams, and it explodes into the rig and just disappears.
Okay, so the shark kerplodes against the side of this cloth tent. So, first off, as they're panning out, you can see people still just standing there on the deck like nothing happened, because they're not aware of the computer explosion that just happened. But then I was like, okay, well, shark's dead, movie's over, right? Like, that's it.
But
did it survive its kerplosion?
Who knows? Here's something about the Kerplosion. Throughout the entire movie, I'm confused as to the size of this shark.
Oh
boy.
I'm not sure if it's enormous or if it's like 12 feet long.
It's neither and both at the same time.
Yeah, it constantly
Anytime
changes.
like the heads come up through one of the many holes in the various structures and it's snapping at them, it looks like a regularly scaled shark head.
Yeah.
So this thing can't be that big, but then later when it happens and we see the entirety of the shark, it looks massive. So
yeah, it's enormous. It's like 50 feet long.
Yeah, if it's on the massive end scale, I'd say the shanty would have been kerploded.
Especially since, like, when you said she was up against a wall, that's being generous. It was 2x4s with cloth stretched across them.
Yeah. So even if it was the reasonably scaled shark, it still would have taken this thing down.
Yeah.
But it survived 40 years, this structure.
Oh my god. It's so insane. And then when we get to talking about why they even started the movie in 1984.
Oh my god. This is so right. This scene means
not
nothing.
How you introduce the shark that you like. Oh god. It's such a fucking mess.
Why? Like, no one at this graduation means anything.
Not
There's
at all.
no like connection to a character we're about to meet. There's nothing. It's an arbitrary moment in time at this place where the shark attacked. Why did this girl have to be so French?
Why did she have to throw the ring in the water?
She's also apparently the only one that's even aware there's a party going on. Like, everyone else is just in their lab coats and she's got like a party dress on.
I don't know. What's the significance?
Plus, how did they all get out there? Because there was no boat attached to said fucking shanty research lab.
They swam out there, like the main way of conveyance for everyone in this movie.
Right.
Yeah. Or the college just kind of like sets them adrift, and then one day they'll return and get their degrees.
When you get back to the shallows, you've graduated.
Yeah. You've done it.
Good God. We're just now getting to the title card.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it kerplodes, six-headed shark attack. So
and
from
who
here,
did the fonts on that thing?
all the fonts.
Somehow, even though there's only like 3 words in the title, there's like 7 fonts.
I know.
Gradients, lens flares, everything you could possibly have. So
Somebody said, "Hey, you want to see what happened if I check all the boxes?"
So we jump up,
stroke, bold.
we jump up to present day to the Camp Heart of the Matter marriage counseling resort.
Or something.
I don't know what to call this. It's a bunch of huts on a beach. This place forces couples to work together to survive without internet. My God. Our good captain from Empire / Planet of the Sharks, whichever one, they're the same movie.
Yeah.
William, he's leading the counseling, and he picks a couple and has them try their luck on this obstacle course, which they immediately fail. And we've got like all the couples. We've got the hippie couple, we've got the rough rocker couple, we got the black couple, and we have the miscellaneous couple.
Yes.
So we've covered all the bases of every kind of human being that exists, correct?
And for some reason, okay, if I'd have signed up for this trip,
As
soon as this guy opens his mouth, as soon as this guy opens his mouth, you're like, he has no clue what he's talking about.
Pretty much.
He's not confident in what he says.
No. Well, he calls over Mary, one of the women, and he has her do it with him, and he explains that if you work together, you could walk up and down stairs. which is basically all this is.
Shit. Fucking Ren and Stimpy. When you said you go upstairs, I'm like, it's a couples thing. I'm like, go over in pairs, run over your neighbor's dog. Fucking log.
Yeah. But he also says that this obstacle is impossible to do by yourself. It's impossible.
Then somebody breaks that record. Somebody call Guinness.
Immediately, Mary just does it on her own, which inspires everyone else to try, and they can all do it too. They're also starting to question where William's wife is, because this is supposed to be a married couple leading this couples thing, and he dismisses that question without answering it. So they all go up and down the obstacle. He sends them off. He says that we're gonna have a little swimming contest for the rations that are coming in. He radios this other two people, Brad and Becky. Is it Becky?
Rebecca?
Yes. Rebecca? Yeah. Something. He radios them asking if they have the supplies that they asked for. And they do, so they unload the supplies onto some paddle boats from the sailboat that they have anchored out, and they paddle that out to this little floating pallet in the water. The shark shadows stalking them beneath the surface. And they set up a veritable feast of butter crackers, Spam, and champagne.
Yes. Sparing no expense.
And this is the prize that they're all going to be swimming out to get. So, but while they're setting that up, they spot some sweet swells on the other side of the reef and decide to paddleboard out there, followed by, sweet Jesus, we get a shot of the shark, and I don't know how this thing is, dynamic enough to cut through the water.
I don't know.
All kinds of shapes.
It's not aerodynamic.
No.
Yeah.
William then paddles out to another boat that's anchored out there, while Brad and Rebecca are suddenly they're sitting there on the boards, and they get attacked by the shark. They're knocked off their boards, and the shark just kind of slow-mo swims up to them, and then there's blood, and it's pretty unspectacular.
Right.
For what this movie is. We've seen better first kills in the other ones. William, it turns out, is getting divorced. It seems like that should be disclosed upon signing up for this marriage counseling trip.
Yeah.
Boom,
also,
irony.
The dude's on a paddleboard, like in 12-foot seas. Like, why are you even out there, Hoss?
Well, there's too many rocks. They can't bring the boats closer.
Well, Jesus, get something
everywhere.
else. You're making all this money off of these assholes coming to, like, climb over shit. Get a boat.
So
It's like
the
Survivor on the island there.
Yeah. He signs the paperwork and gives them to his wife, and she's there with some other dude, Zach, which I'm confused as to whether or not this is her new boyfriend or not. Yes? No?
I have a theory. Keep going. And it will blow y'all's minds when I present this theory, but keep going.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
So back on shore, the hippie couple is suiting up in their wetsuits, and the guy, Jake.
Jason?
You don't get the names of these people till like the third act of the movie.
No. It's usually when they die and they say, "Oh, Jake."
Yeah. I think it's Jake. He wants to go explore the island because he heard that there's a lab on this island where they did crazy experiments on animals, and he read it on the dark net, so it must be true. So his hippie girlfriend storms off in a huff because she's having to take care of both of them as always. Cut to Budget Iggy Pop, and he reassures his woman that they're going to be all right, even though this is roughing it a little more than they expected. And he saunters off, and his woman, Daphne, starts flirting with Kip, the guy of the black couple, trying to get him to help her stuff her tits into her wetsuit.
Nobody had a wetsuit that fit.
No.
Yeah. the hippie girls one was too big. Everybody else
Everyone's
was too
struggling with this thing. So Kip's girlfriend, who I don't think I ever got her name, catches them and threatens her good. Moving down the line of the couple as we hit James and Mary. James, he wants to quit this counseling and go back to being a Viking warrior.
He to me, the first thing I thought was, okay, Robert Plant never joined Led Zeppelin and just became a bartender, and this is where he ended up.
I got Dan Haggerty fucked an albino lion.
I swear to God, I've seen this guy in something.
That's Cord. That's Cord Newman right there.
That's Cord. I mean, I looked him up, but I didn't see anything that I recognize him from, but I swear I've seen this guy before.
He looks like the kind of guy that's yelling at a kid's baseball match, like with spit in the corners of his mouth.
I've never seen a man like that, though, that has like such a spectacular mane.
And he doesn't have a kid in the game at all.
No, he's just enthusiastic.
He just loves the game. But his hair, oh man, you guys, listeners, the blowout on this dude.
It's an explosion of just golden radiance.
And see, this whole movie has a very weird thing about drying times of clothes and hair. And though this man is in the water a lot, you'd never see his hair wet.
Nope.
No.
He's like a penguin.
Just wicks right off of him.
So
there's also a weird thing with the ages of the couples, because all the guys seem way older than all of the ladies.
Yeah,
it's almost as if they just had to take whatever actors they could.
Yeah, especially Duke and Daphne.
Yeah, big time. But
They've
also
got a bit of a gap.
James and Mary, it felt like there was a big gap there.
So Mary's upset because she paid for this whole thing and he's not even giving it a chance. And James accuses her of having a wandering eye for William. I see what you're up to, Mary.
Bitch.
He's like already screaming in her face, though.
I don't even know why we're here, you fucking cunt. Well, that might have something to do with it there, Robert.
Yeah, maybe it's not the relationship that's the problem. This guy's a fucking psycho.
I want to say, with the exception of maybe Kip and his girlfriend, they seem relatively normal. Everyone here is just awful.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait for these people to start dying.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever hated a group of people faster.
Yeah, it's bad.
As soon as they show up on the beach, I'm like, here we fucking go. I'm like, there's the hippies. Ugh.
Yeah. So, meanwhile, William's wife, having just gotten the divorce papers and all, they're sailing off with Zach. They hit some rough water, and there's this dumb little, ooh, she's going to get eaten moment before the shark slides around underwater in a terrible fashion, and they get away.
That one visual effect, it's so weird. Instead of it swimming towards the surface, they just like shrink it.
Well, it's getting further away. It's just shrinking, right?
Yeah.
So we then cut back to Will trying to get a hold of Brad and Becky again. He's not getting an answer on the radio. He's trekking all over this island trying to get a signal to get in touch with these two. Mary finds him and tells him that James wants to quit. And then William blames both of them for not working together. So Mary starts with all this, look here, buddy, I'm a lawyer nonsense that we're going to get a lot of through this movie.
Oh my goodness.
They're more concerned with who's going to sue who than the six-headed goddamn shark.
Yeah. And not even about the suing. It's like, who's going to represent them?
So
like you can settle that long out, like survive first.
Yeah, then
I swear to God, man, if we all die here, we're going to sue you so hard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sue you once for each head that shark has.
So William tells her that, I'll take you back tomorrow and I'll give you a full refund, but while you're here, think about why you came here in the first place. And she goes back to James and tells him that they're going to leave tomorrow, and he scoffs and walks away. And Daphne comes up and she makes some little comment to Mary, which makes her take her shirt off for some reason, and I hate all these people, and they're not dying fast enough yet.
Well, she says, I have a note about this because she says something about how, like, she probably has a hot bod hiding under there. I'm like, hiding under where? She's got a tank top and, like, booty shorts on. There's nowhere for it to hide.
So William is, again, trucking all over the island. He finally notices a foot floating through the water.
And it wasn't Sarah Jessica
direct this.
There it is. I was waiting for it. I love your nice little gap after I said that to get that in there.
Even though Hocus Pocus is brought up in a way that infuriated me. But we'll get into that.
We'll get to it.
So, I'm sure we all have wild, frantic notes going at that part.
So, the couples all get to the beach and they jump in the water and swim out to the supplies. Will freaks out about the foot and runs back to camp. They all get up on the raft except for Mary, who's a little behind everybody. And as she swims up, she runs into the lower half of Brad's body that just pops up in front of her. William then just manifests in the water and grabs her and helps her up onto the raft. Kip's girlfriend pukes all over everybody. And Jake starts saying, "Oh, we can't let that stuff get in the water. It's chum. It'll attract sharks." So at this point, I was thinking, please let this whole movie take place on this 4x4 square of wood with 19 people on it.
Yeah,
You know what I was thinking, honestly? And it would have been so much better. At this point, I thought, okay, is this whole thing just a clever ruse to make these people fall back in love with each other?
Nope.
Like that was a fake body. And they're just making people get scared, so they realize they need each other and they're going to work together. Like, that's what I was thinking. But sadly, no, that isn't what was going on.
So they're on this
would have been a somewhat interesting angle, I guess.
Yeah.
So they're on this raft, which is, I don't know, 20 feet from the shore, maybe? And William says, "No, we got to swim to that boat that's way the fuck out there."
That's why I started saying, okay, this is like a team building exercise.
Right.
No.
It makes sense.
In actuality, this is a whole new, going back to season 1, this is a brand new Dean Cain situation, where as soon as this guy starts calling the shots, people start dying. He's not helping anything. So he insists we all have to swim out to this boat, and they're all like, "Are you fucking crazy?" And as they should be. And after a while, they all decide, well, let's work together, and they all paddle the thing over to the boat.
I like how they had one oar, and Will was like, "No, this is my trip. I keep the oar. You all paddle with your hands, suckers."
Yeah, you stick your hands in the water. So they manage to get there. They arrive at the fully functioning boat. Movie over, right?
Should be.
No.
You fucking wish.
William, again, pull another Dean Cain move, refuses to leave on the perfectly good boat.
We only saw one body.
Yep. We only saw one body. Becky's still out there, and I'm not leaving her. So Iggy Pop then decides, ooh, we got some flares. I'll make a bang stick, and I'll go kill the shark myself, because I'm hardcore like that. So William and Duke get back on the raft, paddle back to the shore. The shark is not an issue.
No. And I'll tell you why it wasn't an issue for them later on. I'm telling you, it's going to blow y'all's fucking mind.
Can't wait. They get back to shore, and Duke starts rigging up his bang stick, and I don't think he builds it right.
No?
No, he doesn't build it right.
He finds like something that they were using to shoot bottle rockets off. He duct tapes that to a pole and then just loosely puts the flare in the hole.
Yeah, and then the next shot, it's got prongs sticking out of it at the end. Like, where the fuck did those come from?
That's not how it works. What movie did we watch where they were making bang sticks? Was that Last Shark?
I don't know.
I don't know.
The whole thing reminded me of like Mad Max. I was wanting them to do like a whole witness me thing and like jump off the front of the boat and stab the shark, but it didn't play out that way.
No. It's spectacular in another fashion, what plays out.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. So they spot the shadow in the water and they march out into the shallows. Duke cuts his hand open and bleeds out into the water to draw the shark in. He gives William his knife and they go out further in the water. The others on the boat see what's going on and decide, hey, let's go get in the way. So they start screaming as the shark approaches. They get the boat running and they start taking it into the shallows.
After they were told specifically not to do that.
Yeah. Duke stabs the shark in the head that he can see with the bang stick. It explodes and blood erupts out of the head, and he's ecstatic that he just killed the great white shark. And William notices that the shark's not dead. It leaps up from the water and takes down Duke, and then the gold happens.
Yes.
We see Duke, arms in one mouth, feet in another mouth, being stretched like a Stretch Armstrong by the two shark heads, and the effect is masterful.
And his head looking at the camera that you could tell just didn't quite fit the body.
And you can hear this cartoon stretching noise as it's pulling him apart. And then he finally pops. William gets bathed in blood,
which I thought was kind of cool, actually.
That was great.
Yeah, they blasted him.
They used some kind of air cannon and just blasted him with blood,
like a t-shirt cannon filled with like just like I don't know, just gunk,
corn syrup and red dye, just blah.
But you could tell it also took him by surprise too.
He wasn't expecting it to be so forceful.
Yeah.
So the shark then bites its own head off.
I think I have to go back and watch it, but I think the head that Duke killed was one of the ones that ripped him apart. So that made me mad.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Because it was the two front ones, and that was one of the ones that he stabbed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So rips off its own head. So it's down to 5 heads again. Downgrade.
How does it not just bleed to death right here?
Because it's make-believe, John.
Because nothing about this shark makes sense.
That is completely true.
So the others on the boat run the boat aground on some rocks. William leaps to cover, and he's drenched in blood, and he seems to be in shock. There's a camera in the shot.
I didn't see it.
There's a camera. You can see the goddamn cameraman in this shot. William's up against the rock, and on the far left side of the screen, there's the end of a camera of some jackass cameraman, and they left it in.
Oh, no.
So William sees that the boat's in trouble, so he does what anyone would do. He dives right into the water and swims out to it, covered in blood. Five-headed shark feet away.
Now,
he makes it, though.
He lives on an island, correct?
Yes. Well, I don't know if he lives here.
Every time he jumps into the water, it's as if it's his first time ever jumping in the water. Everybody else can do a nice little dive in, and every time he tries to dive, he always tucks at the last minute before he belly flops because he doesn't know what he's doing. And I noticed it every time. He just didn't know how to jump in the water.
That's how we do it out on the islands. That's island style jumping.
Oh, okay. That's how the natives do it.
So he makes it back to the boat. He gets on the boat and says, "Back in the water, assholes!" Gets them all to jump back in the water, except for Daphne. she feels bad because she used to make fun of Duke, and now she wants to die. And he imparts some words of wisdom to her and talks her into jumping into the water too.
Yeah.
And at this point, they all jump in the water, and he stands up and just kind of looks out at him. And I was really hoping he'd just say, "See ya, suckers," and then turn the boat around and sail off. That didn't happen.
No, that would have been amazing.
Right.
Because this boat is definitely not aground.
No. You can, okay, the anchor is down.
It's bobbling all over the place. It's fine.
To me, it was just okay.
Actually wreck the boat, Chase. This is their only boat for all of their production.
I mean, you could have tried a little bit to make it look like it was. I mean, freeze frame the film or something. I mean, it's not like you care.
I mean, why not get these digital imaging wizards to make a fake boat?
So, of course, they all make it back to shore. Daphne and William are bringing up the rear. The shark swims after him, but it gets stuck between some rocks like a big idiot.
Rocks that are not there.
They all get to shore, and that's when they start saying that they're going to sue you so hard, William. The hippie girl says that Mary's going to represent us. She's going to be our lawyer. But Jake says, no, we're going to get a real lawyer, which prompts James to punch him in the face. And then,
yeah. Oh, shit.
Which causes Jake to, charge up his goddamn key. And
then the shit pops the fuck off.
This made me so mad.
Is this movie trying to, shoehorn some comedy in? Because please don't.
It's not the right time.
This dude was trying to be like Super Saiyan level 3 or something.
Yeah. he goes through this whole thing and then just kind of tackles at James around the waist. It sounds like they start playing the Monster Mash in the background while this is happening.
I'm sorry, but James, James has some fucking city miles on him. You ain't gonna rough him up.
He's got 100 pounds on the dude too.
Yeah. Not to mention that mane.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's the dominant lion here.
Yeah.
This is his fucking territory.
Yeah, it's Mufasa and Scar.
Even though his punch didn't even seem to register with Jake.
No.
It was a
Jake
terrible
got himself
fight.
all jacked up.
It did sound like the Monster Mash, though. You're right.
So William breaks up the fight, and then they spot some storm clouds rolling in, which hippie girl knows all about because she's a meteorologist.
Oh, she lost her mind at these clouds. And then later on, they say it's a tropical depression. I'm like, y'all worried about a depression? I've been through that shit.
We don't run for Cat 3s around here. So.
Yeah, because we're idiots. But a depression. And then it didn't rain the whole time.
No. Okay. I can jump ahead. But they go on and on about how this island is going to be submerged in water from the storm.
It's not how weather works.
It's gonna rain so much the ocean's gonna rise up 50 feet.
Straight biblical.
From a tropical depression.
So William says we need to go to the lighthouse to weather out the storm. It's the highest place on the island. And the hippie squad says that no, we got to go to the secret laboratory because it's floating.
Okay.
That's the
guy
reason.
lives on the island. Why are you going to poo-poo his idea?
Yeah. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The lighthouse isn't safe.
They also don't know that this thing exists. He was talking about found out about it on the dark web.
Yeah. And he started talking about MK Ultra and Project Paperclip. Mm-hmm. So you mean to tell me Nazi scientists were on that little piece of shit research thing?
Mm-hmm.
No, this thing is worse than those things, according to him. It makes the Nazis look like pussies.
So they decide that they're all going to go to the lab to find the radios and the weapons that are bound to be there. And this is where we get the shot of the shark growing its head back through the head hole.
Yeah.
They get to this super safe, quote unquote, lab, which is just a slightly bigger raft with a tailgating tent on top of it, a couple of fold out tables. Safest place to weather a storm by far.
It's the thing that the movie started. That's where we started.
Yeah.
Right.
So at this point, let's just go ahead and play this, because I'm pretty sure this is where this is happening.
It sounds like someone's got ants in his pants. It's time for Blake to go off on a rant.
That doesn't get any better. Like, it still makes it. All right. So, this research thing. I didn't realize that when they kept talking about this secret research facility, that they were talking about the fucking party barge that I made in high school from the beginning of the movie. So, right when they show up, I was like, holy shit, this is the research facility.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, like, it's 55-gallon drum, some plywood. We've talked about how shitty this thing is, and the stupid water door at the bottom.
Yeah, the hole.
Yeah, the shark hole.
Once they get there, the hippie guy, like myself, realizes he's fucked.
Yeah.
So he starts yelling about the whole lab was hocus pocus.
It's a bunch of hocus pocus, bogus, hogus nogus.
Yes.
Nocus, blocus, snocus.
So he's going nuts. And I know I'm probably going to forget some shit, forgive me, but sorry. Like, so he finally snaps out of it. Him and the hippie girlfriend start doing this fucking Maori warrior chant together, like they're bringing their chi up.
They start speaking Elvish to each other or some shit.
Yeah.
And stroke each other's muzzles and then start flipping out.
Yeah.
Screaming in each other's faces.
It is insane. And suddenly, all of a sudden, they're in love again, you know?
Yeah.
So, of course, now the fucking shrinky-dink shark's gonna come through the goddamn bottom, pulls the girl in, right? Or the dude?
It's the dude first, I think.
No,
It's the dude
the
first.
dude falls in.
Yeah, okay, yeah, he falls in. That's right, because it bumped the fucking raft.
Yeah.
And then this erector set shelf falls over the water door like them down.
Yeah.
As it should.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, can these two please die next? And then the bad movie gods answered my prayers.
But that wasn't like that wasn't before they started talking about killing its fucking chi. The shark's chi they're gonna kill.
We have to strike it in its what did he, where is it? I have it written down. In its heart space.
Yeah.
And kill its chi.
Yes. So, okay, now they realize they're really fucked on this little thing. And one genius says, well, it's 6 heads versus 8 heads, you dumb fucking broad. That doesn't matter. So then somebody produces a surfboard out of the background that's got all these bites out of it, but they're all strategically placed, like just to show how many bite marks out of the stupid surfboard. But the way the shark is designed, it would have had to take a bite, swim around in a circle, and take another bite. Like, it doesn't make no sense. This shark would have obliterated the surfboard. Why did they do this?
Fun fact was, this is actually, that was like a concept I had for one of the posters I was going to make.
A surfboard with 6 strategic bites out of it.
It was when I was doing the 5-headed poster. That was one concept I had.
So
Anyway.
Now they realize they're good and fucked. They're going to leave. So they all jump off the goddamn thing again, back into the water. And the dude can't dive in the water. That pissed me off again. He dives like a weirdo. And that's when they get on shore, they look up. The lighthouse is on a goddamn mountain. The lighthouse is Gondor. And they didn't want to go there? It's like 50 feet above sea level before you get to the bottom of the lighthouse. What the hell are these people talking about? The sea level would have to rise to Al Gore proportions for them to be in danger. There's no reason for them to be afraid of that. So anyway, they're all heading to the lighthouse. Kip and his old lady finally decide, well, I guess we really do love each other after they said they're going to leave each other. And then, holy shit, the thing walks. This shark comes out walking like a fucking Tulalu crab, and
Nobody knows what that is, Blake.
It's a crab. We'll put up a picture of one, for Christ's sake.
It's
anyway,
a fiddler crab.
And that's when it hits me. It hits me why this shark kills people. And it blew my mind and it pissed me off. I have so many mixed feelings. It only kills people when they fall in love. Show me a time when somebody dies in this movie where they didn't fall in love.
The scientist at the beginning.
Yeah, I killed everybody there.
They were in love. He just proposed.
The French girl wasn't in love. She rejected him.
No, she was still in love with him just because he was an asshole. He cheated on her, but she still loved him. Dead.
The shark could sense all of that.
Show me another one. The two people who worked with Will or whatever, they had just kissed for the first time on their boards. Dead. The hippies reunited. Dead.
What about Duke?
Duke, he loved the girl from the beginning because she talks about how she mistreated him while he was always in love. And he was trying to save her because he loved her. Dead.
Because I'm not going to argue with you because I think you're probably right. Because
these slippery bastards.
At the beginning of the movie, when she throws the ring into the water, I was like, is this the shark's origin? Like, is it drawn to broken relationships or something?
But like I said, in my mind being blown of they're only dying because they fall in love, I'm still looking at this abomination of a shark. So let me explain it. So the shark has 3 heads on each side of its body and the tail in the back. So it uses the back 4 heads to walk while the 2 heads in the front roar.
Sucks
for some
to be
reason.
those heads.
And it's walking around like that, but it's got this stupid jerky movement, and it's just the shark's noses getting pounded into the sand like little feet. It doesn't even make sense.
I noticed
how else is it going to walk?
Whatever's going on with the shark's meat jiggle simulation.
Oh my god!
It was way off.
The jowls are flopping all over the place.
They had the jiggleness of it cranked all the way up.
All the way up. Maximum jiggle. Using that Dead or Alive extreme volleyball tech.
So anyway, the shark walks now.
Yeah.
And I'm done.
So, a little behind the scenes action. Back when we watched this back on, Friday night was that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Blake had texted me saying, yeah, get that rant music ready because I'm definitely going to have one. And he said, right when the thing walks, I've got it covered from when they arrive at the lab to when the thing walks for the first time. And I hadn't gotten that far in the movie yet. So I was like, okay, it's going to grow legs and it's going to be some stupid looking alligator looking thing. Oh man, was I wrong?
Yeah. It was the stupidest.
Yeah. And Blake blasted through a lot of that stuff. I just want to make a couple little points that we glossed over.
I was blinded by rage.
The Jake, before he dies, he postulates that because the shark has more than one head, this has to be where it was created. This floating outhouse.
Yes, of course.
It has to have come from here. This is definitive proof. It's the only place it could have come from. William and Mary.
This is my problem with where the movie started. Because, if it was made here, start with them making it. Don't start with some random, graduation party. What are you talking about?
Or if you're going to do that, at least have one of the party goers say, hey, remember when we made that shark?
Remember when we successfully made a 6-headed shark and you accidentally dropped it in the water?
I hope that doesn't come back to bite us.
Oh my God. So yeah, that had Mary and William find an old radio there, but they can't get an answer on it. They radio out, what's going on, but they don't get a response back. James finds this old notebook with little doodles of multi-headed sharks in it. So definitive proof.
Left over from the party 30 years ago.
Yeah. There's also fresh blood from that party, like splattered all over the place.
Wet blood everywhere. It's as if they shot that scene the day before. Mary confronts William about it, whether or not he knew this huge storm was coming in, and he admits that he did, and he's just racking up the lawsuits.
Oh, yeah.
And then this is where they said the thing about how this shark's been seriously wounded 6 times to have all these heads. And that's what I was thinking. Are they trying to say that this is the same shark throughout all the movies? I hope not. So I guess not.
It can't have been, because it started in 84.
Exactly.
It had 6 heads in 84.
You would have to lose heads and then gain them again.
That's true. And also Kip says the best line in the movie when they're throwing out all these hypotheses. He goes, "This is so fucking dumb."
Kip really was speaking for the audience at this point.
Kip, you are my spirit animal.
Yeah. Because the whole time the hippies are freaking out, Kip's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?"
They do that screaming thing, and it cuts to him, and he's just wide-eyed like, "You two need to calm down." He's the everyman of the movie. Oh my God.
Whew.
So, he stabs the shark a few times, and then it goes away, and they jump back into the hole where the goddamn shark just was to swim back to the shore. But the radio does crackle on, and it's Will's ex-wife, and he tells him everything that's going on, and to meet at the lighthouse to pick him up, and he apologizes and says that I still love her, dooming her by Blake's theory.
Yes.
So William dives into the water, and they all make it back to shore because fuck it. That's when they don't wait for William, though. They rush into the White House. Kip and his girl decide to split up, and then don't, and then shark. Crab walking faces. It shuffles up to Kip and his girlfriend when they could easily run away. It's like they're stuck to each other and they don't know how to run. So it gets up to them. They get mauled on the beach. The others run off. The shark picks up some serious speed as it's crab walking along.
Boy, does it.
Then William comes flying out of nowhere with this big saw contraption.
Where did this thing come from?
He comes jumping down with the goddamn Buster sword and slices one of the shark's heads off.
Oh my God. He's got a gigantic serrated knife,
like double-handled knife. So lops off one of the heads. It retreats and goes back into the ocean. They all run to the lighthouse. They get inside. They prop Daphne up against the window because she's in shock. James and William search for the fuse box as Mary tries to calm down Daphne. The shark grows its head back again. Good thing it was the same head as last time, so we can reuse that footage and model over and over again.
Of course. I forgot to mention about the handmade killing saw that the guy made.
Yeah.
First he swung it through the thing's head and there was no blood on it. Mm-hmm. And then when he drops it for some inexplicable reason, it's covered in blood. So, number one, fix the blood, idiots. Number two, why aren't you keeping that thing with you? It's obviously effective.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Yeah. He went through all the trouble to weld and shape this thing off screen. Yeah. Then he just throws it in the dirt.
Idiot.
So, where was I? Daphne starts hallucinating and she thinks she hears Duke and she gets up and leaves the lighthouse. William and James find the fuse box, and this is where James takes this opportunity to confront William again about his imagined relationship with Mary. And while they're arguing, James finds a rifle in the locker and takes it, but Will grabs the bullets before James can. Mary finds some tanks of acetylene and bring that up, and they plan to blow up the shark, a la Jaws.
Yeah.
The one thing they learned from Jaws. Daphne wanders out onto the rocks and screams at the water, and then the shark leaps up and eats her, obviously.
Because she had finally fell in love with Duke. She realized she loved him. Dead.
Yep. Boom.
That's it.
She got Free Willy killed.
James spots the boat approaching, but the sharks close it in. The shark pulls a Superman and swims around the boat so fast it makes a whirlpool.
I couldn't believe it.
Suzanne and Jack and Zach get flung from the boat, and Zach gets super killed as it comes flying around at the speed of light and eats him.
Yes, and right before that, he was talking about how she needed to save herself and all that because he had just fallen in love with her.
So James wants to shoot the shark from the lighthouse, but Will doesn't trust him. He's afraid he'll hit Suzanne. Then Will goes running out of the lighthouse, and he watches in slow motion as Suzanne gets slowly eaten by the shark. And he screams out in agony, and he wants revenge. So Will tells James to shoot the tanks, and he gives him a few bullets, and he's going to go lure the shark out of the water.
But why did Suzanne get eaten?
Yeah, who do you think she was in love with?
She fell back in love with Will.
In that moment, right then?
She was running to him. She the whole reason she went back is because she realized she loved him.
Well, also because the shark had swum really fast in a circle and created a vortex that was sucking the boat she was in down.
Yeah. So now she realized, well, I'm not fucking Zach, so I love you, Will. Dead.
Boom. Dead. The shark is like a black hole of hate. It sucks in all love.
Somebody hurt that shark.
It's like the Punisher version of Cupid.
So Will and Mary run out to the beach, and they start to bury the tanks as a trap. And for God's sake, they're still talking about lawsuits.
Yeah.
About how Mary's going to represent him now to try to protect him from all the incoming lawsuits from all these dead people.
Yeah, they're all dead. Who cares?
Yeah, they're not suing nobody.
So the shark shuffles onto the beach, and James shoots too early, and which this crafty shark's not falling for it now. It looks up at James in the lighthouse, and it's completely aware of what's about to happen.
Yeah, and James says, "Clever girl."
What James didn't count on are the two other six-headed sharks. So, at this point, James decides, well, might as well shoot Will. So he gets a bead on Will, but Mary sees it coming and knocks him out of the way. James then decides, well, I only got one bullet left, so let me do what I came here to do. But he doesn't shoot the tank. He shoots another shark in the head and kills one of the heads. The shark then rips off its dead head and flings it into the lighthouse, crushing James.
What a bunch of stupid bullshit.
So, and it then retreats back into the water because it can only lose one head and it's defeated.
Yeah.
5 more heads be damned. Will and Mary get the tanks and, for fuck's sake, decide to swim back to the boat. Back in the water.
Back in that water.
They get back to the boat. The boat that was supposed to be disabled and going to be sinking, and if we stay on this boat, we'll all be dead. It's fine.
Perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine. Still there. If they would have just stayed on the friggin' boat, everyone would still be alive. Mary rigs up a spear while Will checks the engine, and the engine's out, but they can still use the sails. And at this point, the shark starts busting through the hole of the boat. Will goes down there, and it comes through the hull, which I would think would cause copious amounts of water to come flooding in.
Not in this piece of shit movie.
It doesn't. It's just a hole. He stabs it a bunch in the face. The tanks fall down and bust open, and gas is leaking everywhere. So Will grabs the flare gun, runs upstairs, and shoots down at the shark, but it doesn't blow anything up, and the shark just kind of wiggles loose, and it drags the tanks with it. They're all tangled up in a net.
Is this where he attempts to say "smile, you son of a bitch," but changes one word?
Yeah.
Yeah, he says, like, take that, you son of a bitch, or die, you son of a bitch, or something. Yeah. But it doesn't do anything. The shark swims away. They jump back into the water. Again, the shark's dragging all these tanks behind it. They swim back to shore. They make it, because they always do. The shark follows up onto land. They take cover behind some rocks as the shark's crab walking its way to them. But the tanks that it's dragging behind get caught on a rock, and it gets stuck. Will tries to load up the last flare. It slips and rolls away toward the shark. He manages to reach it, loads it up.
The shitty attempt at tension here.
The flare rolled a couple inches closer to the shark. However will I get it? Oh, like that. That's how I'll get it.
You can't make tension in a movie by making the music louder.
Crank that Monster Mash up. So he gets it, loads it up, shoots at the tanks, which explode, which just blow all the heads off of the shark. It doesn't blow it up into chunks, just all the heads go flying off of it. Like they were spring-loaded. Will screams in furious victory. He and Mary stumble away, and we get this pull-out shot of the island that was supposed to be completely submerged from this storm.
No,
all the houses on the boat are... Yeah, all the houses are still perfectly intact. Screw this movie and screw Asylum, the slippery bastards.
There was there was nothing they did slippery in this one.
They didn't get away with a single thing.
No.
Everything was fine.
What they were doing here.
They could have just gotten on land and stayed on land. They could have just gotten on the boat, stayed on the boat.
Could have just gotten up in the lighthouse and stayed in there.
Yeah.
I really think that whoever wrote this was seriously like had just gone through a breakup and was like, yeah, the shark's going to kill anybody who's in love.
I'm going to kill all these bastards.
We need to do some research on that because I guarantee you that was like their what do you call it? Fuck. I can't talk.
This movie is a product of a broken heart for sure.
Yeah. It's just that's what they were going for. That was the statement they were trying to make to society that,
was it
even
Midsummer?
if you love somebody,
you were thinking
a
of
shark's
Midsummer?
going to kill you.
Okay, so what was the theory on who Zach was?
No, my theory was just that he fell in love with the woman, so he died.
But that doesn't explain to me who he was. That was my question.
He's the guy who's in love with her.
Okay.
But I don't have every answer.
Oh my God.
I mean, who was any of these people? Who was Will? We don't really know who he was.
He's the future savior of the Empire of the Sharks.
Yeah.
This is true.
Or the Planet of the Sharks, whichever movie it was.
They all blend together. Now, I did, when I watched through the credits to make sure there wasn't a stinger of some sort, because I was kind of like, surely this thing's going to grow another head. But it didn't. I noticed that one of the many original songs for this movie, one of
Monster
them
Mash.
was written by Tito Ortiz.
Oh, really?
Whoa.
And I was like, Tito Ortiz wrote a song for this shitty movie, which led me to like half an hour of looking for this song that Tito Ortiz from the UFC wrote. And it turned out to be a different Tito Ortiz.
That's the big twist.
What an incredible story.
You slippery bastards.
Oh my God. All right. So on that note, we got to do part 1 of our part 4 quiz to see who's getting their weapon back for season 6.
Right.
It's me against Blake. So, John, we're ready if you are.
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's go. Question 1. What were the names of the women that the dude was cheating on the French girl with.
Yeah. Thank you, subtitles. Because without them, who knows what that mush mouth said?
What is the brand name of James's wetsuit?
Oh. Shit. I saw it and I said, he's not going to ask that.
Yeah.
Question 3. Which nostril is Mary's nose ring in?
Oh, shit. Got a shot.
Yeah. Which one's Mary again?
The one that survived, the final girl.
Okay, got it.
Question 4. What was the name of the boat?
Which boat? There was a few boats.
The named boat, the sailboat.
Okay.
The one that came back from Empire of the Sharks.
Okay.
And question 5. What is William's last name?
Oh. Well, I definitely got 2. I'm hoping for luck on the 50-50.
I think I'm in the same boat as you.
All right, what's the name of the ladies?
Sharon and Cindy.
Sharon and Cindy.
Correct. Both correct.
Although it sounded like Gigi.
Yeah.
What's the brand name of James's wetsuit?
I couldn't even come up with a guess.
Spree? It was something like that.
Yeah, it was Reef. Reef. Basically,
something with
all
a lot
of
of
them
E's?
were wearing Reef wetsuits. So it's kind of a trick question. Which nostril is Mary's nose ring?
Left.
I'm going to say right.
It was right.
Oh, the king of guessing.
Back at it. What was the name of the boat?
Sweetwater.
Sweetwaters.
Sweetwaters. And finally, what was William's last name?
Tell.
Rogers.
It was Nix.
Nah. 3-2.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad. It's been worse. Not
Good
bad.
start, guys. Good start.
Solid start. Much better than last year's Shark Month with 5-headed. I don't even remember what happened in 5-headed Shark Attack.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly...
Shark Attack.
No Rob Van Dam. I'm not interested.
Get that shit out of my face.
Well, I guess he died in 3, so I don't get... He wouldn't be back anyway.
Who cares?
Yeah, but if Rob Van Dam would have played the character of Will, it would have been so much better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They're not even related. The movies aren't related. You could bring Rob Van Dam back.
Yeah.
He could just be in all of them.
Yeah.
That's true.
This could be his vehicle. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Cast Rob Van Dam. That's what you do.
All right, John. Time for movie number 2. What's it going to be?
All right. Movie number 2. We're going to be watching Sharkman.
I saw this one.
AKA Hammerhead, Shark Frenzy.
I thought you were going to say Shark Friend.
Shark Friend. Now, like, when I was doing research for this, it was very confusing because, so on Amazon, the cover of this movie is one thing. It's that, like, blue Sharkman face,
yes.
right? But that's the cover for a different movie, also called Sharkman, about a cartoonist who wishes his superhero creation Sharkman would come to life.
Okay.
So this one is a different movie. This is a different thing. So they have 2 different listings on IMDb, but then both of them list like certain cast members. So it was very confusing.
I'm already aggravated.
I can't see how this could possibly go wrong. I can't see how we could possibly not all watch the same movie.
No, the one on Amazon is the right one. It's just got the wrong image for the cover.
Okay.
And it's also lists the wrong like director, I think. Very weird.
Anyway. Sharkman, just type up whatever you see.
It's the only one. It's not the documentary about some guy who likes sharks or whatever. So 3 stars on IMDb, 2.5 on Amazon, a 22% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. It's 92 minutes. It's directed by Michael Oblowitz. For some reason, he's got a bunch of nicknames on IMDb. Prince of Darkness.
Okay, so he wrote his IMDb page.
He clearly did. Prince of Darkness, DJ Blow, or Hound Dog Oblowitz.
Oh yeah, of course, old Hound Dog Oblowitz.
I'm starting to think he's a vampire.
It gets better. He's also directed our absolute boy Steven Seagal in The Foreigner and Out for a Kill. The movie stars William Forsythe, who was in Raising Arizona. He was Flat Top in Dick Tracy. He was in The Rock, Devil's Rejects, and Deuce Bigalow Male Gigolo as the detective with the thin dick.
Jesus Christ.
Of all the movies for you to give me the example of who he was, you picked the one I have no idea who you're talking about anyway.
Sorry, I may have watched Deuce Bigalow too many times. Also starring Hunter Tylo, who's a soap opera actress. And then the reason that I even picked this movie to begin with...
Who names their daughter Hunter?
I don't know.
This guy.
Kind of weird.
Hound Dog Oblowitz.
I don't know why that struck me so hard. But it's like, who named their daughter Hunter?
Hunter?
Sorry to any women named Hunter out there. Sorry. But...
yeah, and the reason I picked this movie is because it also stars Jeffrey Combs, who I love. He's Herbert West in Reanimator. Mm-hmm. He's in Robot Jocks, Castle Freak, and in like 2012 he was in Would You Rather. He's great. The tagline: when he began fusing human and shark DNA, his colleagues laughed at him. Now his creation is taking his revenge, and they aren't laughing anymore. It's a long tagline. Synopsis: a pharmaceutical team visits a remote island to meet with the enigmatic scientist who lives there. But when they arrive, they discover his experiments have created a monster.
Wait, his experiment? His experiments created the monster?
His experiments have yielded a monster, I suppose.
His experiments to make a monster have indeed, in fact, created a monster.
I thought like he made other things, and those things created the monster.
He made a little lesser monsters.
Maybe as soon as you said they went to the island, I was thinking Island of Dr. Moreau, and I was like, all the other animals made a fucking animal, and maybe that's what happened here. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, there's definitely a bit of a Dr. Moreau ripoff going on here. Yeah. So, a couple of reviews. We got Hammerhead : Shark Crap, 2 stars. This one was just confusing. It was a 1-star review. The title of the review was 9 out of 10. And then the body of the review was, I like the shark.
So one of our listeners left a review.
Yeah.
And then finally...
It's not a shot at anybody. It's like a legitimate Garbage Theater review.
Finally, did Combs lose a bet? 1 star.
Oh boy.
So yeah, I don't know what to refer to the movie as, because it seems like Sharkman is the... its real title is Hammerhead Shark Frenzy. But
well, neither does Amazon, so...
Nobody knows.
But for anyone who wants to watch it, just look for Sharkman on Amazon.
Yeah.
With the big shark face on the cover. See, now this is interesting, because with all the confusion around this... I remember saying, because I had seen Sharkman, but I also noticed that there's also like Mosquito Man, Parasite Man, and all the covers are like look like they were done in the same way, like by the same artist.
Right.
So like I thought this was like a going thing, but with all the confusion around it, I don't know.
Yeah, now I'm gonna look Hold on. Oh my god, there's so many of them. Mosquito Man, Snake Man.
Yeah.
It's a list of rejected Mega Man villains.
Yeah.
There is a Snake Man.
Made it.
Yeah, Snake Man, but Parasite Man?
There's Larva, which kind of looks like it's in the same style. Oh, come on, man. Sorry, I'm trying to like do some quick research here, but my computer.
Oh yeah, now's the time to do it, loser.
Live on the show. That's
yeah, baby.
the
It's
best
not
times.
working.
All right. Oh boy. So, episode 1 of Shark Month in. It was a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't good. You know what I mean.
No, the movie was.
You all know what I
Asshole.
mean by now. So, I'd like to thank everybody for listening. Again, drop us a review on iTunes if you could. We'd very much appreciate that. You can contact us at Facebook at... Blah. You can contact us at Facebook at Facebook.com/Garbage Theater or on Instagram at Garbage_Theater. You can email us directly at GarbageTheaterPodcast@gmail.com. Send us movie picks that you might want to do. Not for Shark Month, but we're about to start a new season. I've got first pick of season 6, so I need something to start us off with. And pick number... Well, can pick number 1 be stricken by a weapon? Did we ever make that rule?
No, we didn't make that rule.
Yeah.
I don't know. We might need to though.
Why?
Well, because like technically they won. You know, maybe like their prize is first pick.
His first pick.
No.
Have we not made that rule?
No. I've never heard that rule before. This show's got enough fucking rules.
To be discussed.
No, the weapon is supposed to be used in a mean way.
Okay, so what do you get for winning the season?
You get a shot at picking the first movie.
A shot.
A shot.
Look, if you don't like it, win. Then you ain't gotta worry about it.
Yeah, get good, sucker.
Yeah. And look, I'm the one that's most likely to get fucked by these things anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
Well, I think it makes sense though that like so the weapon takes away someone's pick. It seems like getting first pick should be like a guaranteed pick. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Like, all that matters is we all know in the end, John's the one that's gonna get fucked.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, John's not getting first pick this season anyway, so it doesn't matter. We'll discuss when John comes in first place.
As we all know, Scorpion Thunderbolt ensured John's getting them all.
Yeah.
So, on that note, we're going to bid you good night. We'll see you next time when we watch Sharkman / Hammerhead / whatever the hell the third name was.
Shark Frenzy, was it?
Shark Friend.
Hammerhead Shark Friends, yes.
Hammerhead the Friendly Shark Man.
The Jabberjaw biography.
We'll see you then, folks.